2NURFM News for our sponsor Guardian Jewellery, Toronto Town Square and the Esplanade, Warners Bay.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Georgia Lupton with 2NURFM Hunter News. Many Dungog residents are still without a place to call home almost 4 months after April's superstorm. Elderly residents living in the council-owned Allison Court Aged Care Facility are still unaware of when they will be able to return, with up to 8 residents currently living in temporary accommodation. Dungog Shire Community Manager Sarah O'Brien says the time frame for their return home remains unknown.
Just makes it so much harder for the individuals that are going through it because there's no certainty. Unfortunately, so many people were hoping when the storm event hit in April that logic would say they've got nearly the rest of the year to go. We will be home for Christmas was what a lot of people were holding on to, and the sad reality is that many people won't be home for Christmas.
Newcastle's stimulant treatment program is set to receive a $400,000 from the government over a 4-year period. The funding has been allocated to extend the program and other services at the John Hunter Hospital to Taree and Tamworth. The state government will also fund $7 million to the development of stimulant treatment services in other areas in New South Wales. Newcastle Airport recorded a record number of passengers passing through its terminal during July, with a 2% increase compared with the same time last year. A number of reasons are said to be behind the increase in traffic, including increased services provided by Virgin, Jetstar and Fly Pelican. Newcastle Airport Manager of Aviation and Business Development David Nye says the addition of a service to Canberra has played a part in the spike of passenger numbers.
We've seen Fly Pelican began their operation to Canberra and Sydney late in June, so July was the first full month of service, and Fly Pelican actually increased the number of flights to Canberra in July as well. So we've certainly seen the passengers travelling to Canberra this year, which we didn't have last year as there wasn't an airline operating that service, and that's also helped to boost those numbers in July.
The Dungog Festival program, which celebrates music, film and the region's produce, has been launched this morning. New South Wales Minister for Trade, Tourism and Major Events Stuart Ayres and Upper Hunter MP Michael Johnson were present to launch the event. Michael Johnson says the festival will feature renowned performers.
The Dungog Festival this year promises to be bigger and better than ever. The long table dinner will be on again with more than 250 people there. In fact, this year we've got world-renowned conductor and composer George Ellis coming up to workshop with the school children of Dungog and to compose a song.
Some of Newcastle's most in-need families and communities are set to benefit, with the Greater Charitable Foundation announcing funding of more than $800,000. Some of the biggest beneficiaries include Camp Quality, Autism Spectrum Australia, Starlight Children's Foundation and the Sir David Martin Foundation. The Greater Charitable Foundation CEO Anne Long says charities which benefit from the donations will help thousands of people,
including the Starlight Children's Foundation, to deliver their program in the John Hunter Children's Hospital and Starlight Express Room, and throughout regional hospitals in New South Wales and into the Gold Coast.
In finance, the All Ords is up 36 points at 55.04 and $1 Australian is buying 73.94 US cents.
Sport for our sponsor Warners Bay Sports Club Fishing Expo September 13.
The Newcastle Knights will be sweating on scans of several key players today in the hope of avoiding the dreaded wooden spoon. Enforcer Beau Scott and utility Tyler Randall both suffered injuries in yesterday's 38-22 point loss to the Sydney Roosters. Interim coach Danny Baderas says the Knights were on their own worst enemies at times.
When you make a mistake and make another one, its possession rate goes, and the next thing you're on the back foot, you've got no energy to defend, and when you've got the team like the Roosters coming at you like that, probably 26 points is a score you're going to get.
Dreams of semi-final berth for Charlestown in the Newcastle Rugby League competition remain alive following a shock 38-14 win over Lakes United at St John Oval yesterday. The 24-point win puts Central just one win outside of the top 5 with 2 games of the regular season remaining. And Broadmeadow Magic have found themselves sitting inside the top 4 of the Northern New South Wales National Premier League with a 1-0 victory over Western. The wins level Broadmeadow with Western on points, however a superior goals for and against record places Magic in a playoff position with 1 game of the regular season remaining. 2NURFM News Time is 1:05.